What's going on, everybody? This is Blackout here, and I'm bringing you my game review of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. I'll be going over many aspects of the game today: story and gameplay, sound and customization, difficulty, and all that good stuff. Also, I want to let everybody know, mild spoilers, there will be footage of the final boss in Chapter 4. Please like, subscribe, comment, share my video with your friends, tell everybody how bad I am at this. Please do all those things. Enjoy my video. I worked really hard on this and I'm excited to get it out to you. The story is a little weird, for a lack of a better word. I think it's a decent story, but I had a hard time following it because a lot of the dialogue during the game is kind of hard to hear with all the background noise being made as you're playing the game. But thanks to the logs and the storyboard missions and the briefings, it's you do get a sense of what's happening, and there are several choices to make throughout the game, which I like. You have to actually go into NG Game Plus Plus to fully get all three endings in the whole story because there's different, like I said, there's different paths to take throughout this, uh, mainly later in the game, like in the chapter 4 and 5. There's different paths you can take, and depending on the path you take is the ending you're gonna get. Gameplay, on the other hand, was a lot of fun at times, and it wasn't so fun at other times. I felt like the bosses were really well designed and fun. The mechanics to them are great, even though some of the bosses were a little too easy for me, and that's actually part of the problem with the gameplay that I have. The Some of the bosses were very easy, but on top of that, a lot of the enemies you run into between bosses are not very difficult. I didn't get stuck on any group of enemies anywhere really, except for some of the stuff at the end of the game, which I'm not going to say because no spoilers, but I don't want to come off too negative though. This game is a blast to play. I had so much fun throughout the entire game. It's a little slow paced at the beginning, but it picks up very well after chapter 1. I will be talking more about the bosses and the mobs more in the difficulty section because there are some things that were fun and difficult about this game, and I definitely want to give them a little bit more love there. Overall, I'd say that the gameplay and the story is about an 8.5 or so. Like I said, I'd like to see more with the mobs throughout the different levels being more difficult, and I would like to understand stories a little bit better sometimes in these games. I know this one was easier to comprehend than Dark Souls, but still, it was a little weird. Customization in Armored Core can be a lot of fun. You have so many different options to change your AC, the different weapons you can use for your right and left and two shoulder mounts. You got different head pieces, chest pieces, arm pieces, leg pieces. I like to use the bipedals and use like a medium size AC. I actually beat the whole game with using either a shotgun on my right hand or a Gatling gun on my right hand, and I switch it up a lot with my left hand too. I like the swords, but I have other guns and things to put on the left hand. All of your items matter in this game. If you put on a chest piece, for example, that's too big, or arms, it's gonna make you go overweight or you won't have enough energy for it. So you got to change your generators. You got to make sure that you got the right boosters on and all these things. So be careful of how you build your armored core. Another thing you can do in this game is completely transform your Armored Core into however you want it to look, basically. There's so many different color patterns and parts on your Armored Core that you can change it to. I really like the different patterns and how you can make it look rusty, how you can change your gun, and how you can change basically every part on your AC and all your weapons. You can change into different colors and patterns in the way they look. Overall, I give this part a 10 because I feel like they did a really good job with the customization. I've seen a lot of ACs online that look really cool. I didn't go into super detail on my first playthrough here, but there is way more about this customization than I'm even showing you. So we'll give it a 10 out of 10. Excelente, magnifico. This is about the most perfect part of this game. It really is. I had a lot of fun changing my AC throughout the game.
System activating combat mode.
The difficulty is kind of all over the place in this game. Some moments it's actually pretty easy and you just blast through everybody, and then others there's too much going on. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly how you're supposed to either tackle the situation or the boss. Right now I'm showing footage of the worm boss because I thought this was probably one of the best gimmick bosses I've ever seen. I didn't have a very hard time with this particular boss, but there were some bosses that took a few to quite a few tries for me to tackle, and I thought that the difficulty was kind of weird because of that. I would blow through missions, but then I would get stuck on certain bosses for a little while. And I liked it better in like Dark Souls where you had a little balance between the two. I basically blew through the game up until the end of the fourth chapter where I ran into the next boss I'm going to show you. Mechlania, Blade of Rubicon. I want you guys to just watch this and listen to it for just a second.
The Ibis series are no ordinary weapons. They're designed to prevent coral disasters, a security measure to keep Rubicon safe. But now their original masters are long gone. Destroy it before it destroys you.
The music and sound effects to this game are all fantastic. The only problem I have with it is the beat that comes up every time an attack is coming at you. That thing actually messes me up sometimes, but it also I just find it to be annoying other times. It goes off over and over again. Um, but I want to show you guys some more footage of the second phase.
Wait, it's coming back.
It's reactivating.
Is this what the Ibis series is truly capable of?
Drawing power from its environment. It won't stop until we destroy its generator.
2 repair kits remaining. AP at 50%.
You can't tell me that ain't some straight up Dark Souls stuff right here. I love this fight actually. I think it's a lot of fun. Everything's on point for me. I love the sound, the difficulty. I spent 2 different nights, a few hours a night trying to kill him. The Enforcer is by far my favorite boss fight. Everything about it feels right. It feels like I'm fighting Mechlania. That's why I made that joke at the beginning of this. Just the way it started, it coming from the air, dropping down just like she did. I thought that was really cool. But anyway, overall, the bosses were awesome, but I didn't really like a lot of the mobs throughout the different missions. So I give it about a 9. First, I'd like to say that this game was a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting much out of it. I don't never played any of the Armor Cores, but this game is an absolute blast. Even if maybe you don't like mechs like me, you might have some fun with this because it's definitely got some Miyazaki Dark Souls feel to it. I love it, and I hope that they come out with another one, maybe do some improvements to the game. Overall, I'd like to see the world get expanded a little more things to do, maybe some harder normal enemies, and expand upon the bosses. But besides that, I feel like I'm being nitpicky a little bit. This game has been really, really good, and I had a lot of fun, and I'm still going to be working on NG Plus and NG Plus Plus. Overall, I give this game an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend it to everyone. Check you on the next one.